Well, friends, we're out here at one of the big rivers, and man, I'm excited. It's been a year since I've been here. So what are we going to try to catch in here? Some good pike, smallmouth, and what else? Oh yeah, walleye. This is where I caught my PB walleye. So the plan for today is just to get everything out there, get reacclimated, water depth, all that good stuff. Be using all kinds of different lures. And the story for today is, it's got to be success. The rattle trap. I always catch a bunch of fish here on the rattle trap, especially the walleye. So I got a bunch of different rattle traps we're going to test. And then I've got a new technique I'll tell you about that my friend Jason from Weckerly Outdoors told me about, sent me some stuff to test out. So I'm going to do that on this flowing water system as well. All right, let's get rigged up. Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. All right, as seen, we are up here on the big river today. I'm going to be testing a new technique that my friend Jason over Weckerly Outdoors told me to get rigged up, and that's a streamer setup. So I've never ever used a streamer setup, but he sent me all the stuff for it, and we're gonna give it a shot. So I got a couple of streamers out there. I've got a heavy weight on the bottom, and we just wait and we shall see what happens. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate all the support. My name's Alan, and I'm usually making some kind of a fishing video. Ooh, what do we got here? Do I already have one? Nope. You know what happened here? I got washed into the rocks. Rats. Oh man. All right, let's check and see what the problem is. We're not going to go so deep out there. We'll try a little shallower. Definitely flowing in the, it's definitely flowing. Got the two colors. I got the red and yellow, and then the red and purple. The thing is, this is really rocky. It may work better for me on like a sandy bottom. But we'll see what happens here. Alright guys, so I've got this one on a Shakespeare setup. And look at that, we're hooked up. So what I started doing is I started bouncing it along. So it's a new technique for me, so I've never used it before. So I just started bouncing it along. keep it out of the rocks. What the heck is this? Oh, check it out. It's a small big head buffalo carp hit it. That's pretty cool. So I've got this on a Shakespeare graphite setup, but I've got an old school Shimano 4000 rear drag. I love this reel and I never use it, so I figured what a time to test it. Let's get this guy up on the mat. Look at that, right in the top lip. "15 inches. 15 inches on this guy. Or you can check him out. There you go. For the release. Yeah, you're free. Hit the road. So thanks, Jason. This is actually a lot of fun. I just got to get used to it. Key is I got to just keep it moving instead of just letting it kind of sit there. I'll have to get clarification from him on it. Uh-oh. With this current, see, it drags it under different rocks. So I got to keep her moving. If I do that, I'll be in good shape. All right, guys, just got hammered under there. So I'm confident I had a double. I'm confident I had a double because it shot back in there, and then I had another jump and it came this way, pulled this way. So as I was reeling them in, I could see that it was weird. It was just going back and forth. And right after about 20 yards, one fish came up that I could see splashing at the back end. But what happened is I lost them. And I'm using good heavy mono. So it was a break off. It was too much fish for the line. This is, I think, 12 pound mono from what I remember. I don't have any more of the streamers with me, so I'll have to re-rig when I get home. Dang. Anyway, but I had fun running it through there. It definitely works. I just need more practice with it. So there you get to see me testing a new technique that isn't always successful for me. So I am human. Boy, these rocks are iffy through here. I'm sure I had a double. It just couldn't handle it. Dang, that stinks. Anyway, so back to the drawing board. I'll try it again. I'm going to try it again on a different river system as well, one that has more of a sandy bottom. All right, guys, get you a good box of rattle traps. I'm going to be throwing mostly the blue chrome ones, the chrome with the blue back. There'll be some other ones that I throw, but man, they're fish catchers for me here. So I got some other stuff. So we'll see. I got some Strike Kings in here, some Rapalas, some Bill Lewis. So, but we're gonna start off with good old chrome blue back. The first setup I'm gonna use, it's gonna be the Cast King Spartacus 2 on Bass X. I love these here entry-level rods, but I love them. This has got 10-pound gin clear on it. So that's what we're gonna start off with, and we'll see how it works out. It usually works out pretty well for me. I love catching fish in here on the rattle traps. Never use rattle traps, never too late to start. Here we go, guys, on the Bass X Spartacus 2 from Cast King. Guys, this is just so much fun to fish this through here, these rattle traps. I've hooked into some big carp, just snagged them before. I can see fish right down there. They're like chubs and shiners. But look at that thing, it's got excellent shine. So I'll do some fan casting I'll start all over here to the left and I'll move all the way out to the right. This one you don't need to yo-yo, you just crank, crank, crank and stop. Crank, crank, crank and stop. And let the current kind of guide you through. You'll feel the rocks down there, but it usually comes through the cover pretty good. I usually do this from the spinning reel, but since I had one on the bait caster ready to go, I'm starting with it. Jackhammers or bladed jigs work really well here. Swim jigs work really well here. Is that a snag or is that a hit? Come on, get out of there. What do we got here? If you get hit like this, it's a rock you can usually pull free. Come on, get out of there. Well, I'm dragging it, whatever it is. What is it? Oh, somebody's fishing line. Psh, figures. This isn't, it's not an easy place to fish. They have like 20-pound line. Alright, so you guys get the idea. It's a lot of fun. I've caught a ton of great fish in here. Alright guys, check it out. I got one. Right through the eye. It's like a shiner. There he goes. It's like a little chub. Ah, he'll be fine. There he goes. This one on the blue shiner, I got a shiner. Actually, it looked like a young carp. So that's what they're feeding on. You got to compete against that. Yeah, there he goes. He goes back and forth. Yeah, that looks good. And that looks just like a shiner you would have in there. It's getting banged up a little bit, but I always, when they come through here, these rocks, they always get banged up and chipped up a little. Rattle trap and cast at a country mile, just a flick of the wrist. There we go. We're hooked up. Oh! He threw it! No? Do I still have him? No, then I pulled it under a rock. I had one, guys. Dang it, on the blue shiner. For a minute, I thought he pulled me under a snag, then he let go, and then I got sucked right under a rock. Dang it. Man, that stinks. Let's go. Let's see if I can pull her through. Sometimes I can. If it's a small enough rock, I can get it free. There we go. Don't tell me I have somebody's fishing line again. I do have somebody's fishing line. Check it out. Let's get back over here to Checkpoint Alpha so I can start cranking this other line in. Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing and you Get snagged up, you'll lose. Easy to do. This stick's too big, but usually I grab a stick and I start winding. Oh yeah, they're using like, no, it's not too heavy, mono. $15 to $20 is what it looks like. So once I get it tight enough, then I just give it a quick yank. We're getting there. There we go. There we go. We'll see if there's anything on the end of it. I don't think so, because it's flowing pretty good in the current. Yeah, it feels like 15 to 20 pound mono. All right, there we go. There's the end of it. I'll put this in the recycle pile. All right, guys, I'm running the Bomber 2A through here. Haven't even had a sniff. And this thing sticks out like a sore thumb down there in that Coach Dog color, Fire Tiger. I can feel it clinking down there. This is perfect for this water because it only gets down to about 3 feet. If you got really light line, it can get down to 4 feet. It's just been a grind today fishing. What do I got here? A rock? A stump? A fish? Holy cow, I actually got a fish. Woohoo! There we go. On the Bomber 2A. What is it? It's a nice pike. Yay! Let's go. I don't want to hurt him on the rocks there, but that's a decent sized pike. Yeah, he's not bad. He's not a bad fish. I got kind of an awkward hold of him, but all right, let's get him down here into the water. There he is. Not too shabby. You ready, buddy? Off you go. There he goes. All right. I was just talking about how the Bomber 2A, I wasn't getting anything, and then bam! It felt like I had a snag down there. That was cool. Man, this place is just tough to fish. Here it is, right here. That Coach Dog. It's just epic. So I threw the Bomber long shot, the Bomber long A. Wouldn't get any bites. Do a Bomber speed in. I mean a Norman speed in. Ran it through there. Haven't ran any metal through. I'll do that later. Probably when I do a bladed jig video, I'll come out here and just throw those. But this little Bomber 2A gets down there and it's like a cross between a square bill and just a regular crankbait. Oh man, get out of there. All right, usually it gets pinned under a rock, but I can get it out. Let's see if I can work him out. Ooh, maybe not. There we go. I got him. There's Mr. Heron. I stay out of this corner because there's a huge bee's nest up under the rocks right behind me. It's been there for years. So I tend to stay out of this little area here. Dang it. Sorry, Mr. Heron. Well, this is like super wedged in there. Can't get it. Oh, dang. Did it come up after I broke it off? No. Okay guys, the next color I'm going to test of the rattle traps is a sexy sunfish. Looks good. Yeah, it looks like a sunfish. Looks like it could be like a pumpkin seed or a green sunfish. Picked up a tree branch, it feels like. Yep. These things are so sensitive, you can feel when something's just not right. Picked up a little cabbage there. Alright guys, we're hooked up on a rattle trap, the sexy sunfish color. What do we got here? What's a nice little pike. Check him out. There we go. There he is. Right there. Check him out. You ready, buddy? There he goes. Actually, guys, that was cast number 2. That pike wasn't too bad. He was. You can always tell it's a pike because it just goes to a dead stop. Same thing with a walleye. Alright guys, a step up from the 2A is the fat A for me. This thing has got a huge wobble. It's got some good depth in there. It doesn't dive too deep, so it's almost like an ATV. It's got that cool bill on it, so it can get through quite a bit. Man, it's just such a cool lure. This one isn't the full size big one. This one's like the one size down. Was it the 5, I think? I can't remember the sizes. Fat A5. But it's got such a cool wobble on it, and in the fire tiger colors, it works out pretty good. This one's like in that fire tiger coach dog. It's got some red on it. Look at this. I cut somebody else's fishing line again. Sheesh. Snag City in here, that's a deal. Let's see what's on the end of it. Nothing. I'll put that in my pocket. All right, let's keep going. I'm gonna put it on the bank there and then I'll come back and get it. I already had that other one in my pocket. So my pockets are getting full of line. But anyway, this one, crank, 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 kill it. Then you crank, 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 kill it. Crank, 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 kill it. Anything coach dog, fire tiger, you know it's gonna attract a lot of attention. All right, guys, we're hooked up. I don't think it's somebody's fishing line this time. There we go. That's a nice pike on the fat A. There he is, right there. Not a bad fish. There he goes. They're fun to, they're probably my funnest fish to catch. Since I grew up fishing for them. Then of course bass in my second. But man, you can tell it's a pike because it feels like you hit a brick wall. All right, guys, we're gonna throw the old hammer trap. I love throwing this. I've got tons of fish on it. Especially in this gold color. Look at that flash. So we're gonna chuck this around and hopefully we'll get a smallmouth, a walleye, maybe another pike. Oh, I had a hit and maybe it was a rock I got hung up on. Piece of debris because it came free pretty quick. Look at that. It's from Bill Lewis. It's in the rattle trap type family, but man, this thing is fun to fish with. Back home, my favorite colors are purple nurple and Smalley Magic. I catch everything on Smalley Magic. And a hammer trap. Look at that. Golly. All right, guys, we're hooked up. What the heck? On a hammer trap. What is this? Boy, he just came up here and whacked this thing. That's the second one of these I've caught today. Big head carp. There you go. Sheesh. On the hammer trap, man. It got him right in the bottom lip. Crazy. All right, guys, I'm gonna throw this guy, the Storm Arashi 3-foot chartreuse and blue. Just running it through this little gauntlet through here. See how the water swirls back into there? So it goes like this, right back in there. It's like a giant eddy. But I look at that log and I wonder what the depth is. So that's why I went with a 3-foot. But here there's like a big hole here, a big pool. Look at that. All right, guys, we got a, what is it, a pike? Hey, we got a pike on the Storm Arashi. Oh. For the release. There he goes. Nice pike. Guys, we're hooked up. Let's see what we got here. Let me get to some better footing. This current makes it tricky to see what you get. Oh, it's a nice smallmouth. Oh, it's a largemouth. Check that out. Whew, down in the rocks. It's on that storm Arashi.
Alright.
Got him on that storm Arashi. Square bill right there. That's a decent largemouth right there. For river fish, that's pretty good. He fought pretty good. There he goes. All right, guys, here we go. Let's see what we got on the rattle trap. There we go. It's a nice walleye. Check him out. Not too bad. All right, there he is right there. Not too shabby. There you go, buddy. Nice. That was probably like a 12 incher, I think. He's still chilling right there. Ooh. Oh, there he goes. He's gone. That's it right there. Rattle Trap City. All right, guys, here we go. On the rattle trap, I moved to a smaller size. What is it? Oh, it's a little smallmouth. Yeah, he's not very big. Come on, get out of there. There he goes, perfect. Not a bad little guy. We'll help him get on his way. Oh, he's bleeding just a little bit. He may be pike food. There he is. There he goes. You know what I noticed, guys, about the fish is that they clot up pretty dang quick because they're always getting poked and hammered down there. So if you get them back in the water, a lot of times they'll do fine, but there are a lot of times where they don't do fine. So you just it's like experience. You just gotta know how to handle them. The dude that's over there came over and was asking me about what I use to catch fish, and he fishes all the time, but he's always getting snagged. And I was like, well, that's part of it. You're fishing snags, you're gonna have fish. Take a look at this, guys. Telltale sign. See this? Carp are down in here feeding, and when I bring the rattle trap through, sometimes it hooks them. So it makes you think you got a great fish, and then you'll feel when they swim away to get out of it. Sometimes they'll get out of the way, but a lot of times they don't. Because they're so big, you know, they're like, hey, what's going to bother me? Yeah, I've met two locals out here, and they're all struggling with the heat. It's like 84 with massive humidity, and they're just... I mean, I'm sweating, but they're having a hard time, and I'm like, man, this is nothing to like what it is back home. Dang it, I got a stick. See, there's a big carp right there. They're around. Guys, we're gonna bomb this two-way. I lost one two-way on a stump out there. We're gonna try this guy, croc color. Hopefully we can get a couple bites. All right, guys, we're hooked up on the Bomber 2A, that craw color. We just cracked it. There we go. It looks like a largie. Is it a largie? Let me get to some better footing and we'll work on him. There we go. This footing is just treacherous in here, guys. Whew. He's bleeding a little bit, but that's a nice little largemouth. Let's get him back in there. All right, not bad. It's on the Bomber 2A. Boy, he just smoked it. I'm telling you guys, that thing's like a square bill, but how that bill is designed, it'll come through grass too. All right, guys, a couple more casts. Then I gotta head out of here, and man, I am dehydrated. This sun and humidity just drain you. I had a couple Gatorades, went through them. If you ever get in a situation where you get like super dehydrated and Gatorade's not gonna get it done, the other thing I use to hydrate with is Fairlife milk. Yes, milk is one of the best ways you can rehydrate. I try to do like either the whole milk or the 2%, but the chocolate milk, if you need that sugar burst, but man, just the core of it, the milk. Ooh, you see that right in front of me? There's a giant carp stuck his head up. Sometimes they do that if they have what we would call indigestion. They'll put their heads up and get a gulp of air. Anyway, so Fairlife is usually a good one for me when I get really dehydrated. It's not hot, it's just the sun. And this humidity sucks the life out of you. Anyway, so we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I had a lot of fun out here. All right, thanks for hanging out with me, and until next time, I'll see you then, guys. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.